Okay, so this is the first example of a word problem that uses multiple steps, and those steps are still ratios. And so you're going to find what the ratios are, and then I'm going to show you how to put it all together to know which numbers to multiply and which ones to divide. So we've got a warehouse worker ships 25 boxes each day. Every box contains 3 shipping labels. Inventory has 500 shipping labels. How many days will it take to use the inventory of shipping labels? Round to the nearest whole. Okay, so first we want to figure out what we're trying to find. We look for the question in here, and it says how many days. So we're trying to find some number of days. And in a lot of cases, because most of these are going to be multiple choice questions, the answers are also going to be a giveaway of what you're trying to find. So in this case, all the answers have some number and then the word days. So you know without a doubt that you're trying to find the number of days. You might come across some where it just has a number here without a word, but if it does have the word there, definitely take advantage of that to make sure that you're trying to answer the correct question. Now for the given part, again, we're going to scan this looking for numbers, but recall that sometimes something that you need to use as a number isn't necessarily going to be written out as a number. For example, worker ships 25 boxes each day. Each day means how many days? It means one day. So what you're going to write down for something like that is that 25 boxes equals one day. Because each time, anytime one day goes by, 25 boxes have been shipped. Anytime 25 boxes have been shipped, that means it's been one day. And so that you can use as an equivalence here. Every box contains 3 shipping labels. How many boxes contain 3 shipping labels? 1. So again, here where it says every box, we interpret that as 1 box equals 3 labels. Okay. Then it says that inventory has 500 shipping labels. It doesn't say 500 shipping labels each day or each box or anything like that. It's just that's the total number of shipping labels in inventory. So that's going to be one where we're just going to write 500 labels. There doesn't always have to be an equal something. And in fact, if you end up with a couple things that are something equals something and then just a standalone number like 500 labels, that is almost always going to be your starting point. Um, so just take that 500 labels and put it in. This is a grid that I like to use for solving things like this that have multiple steps because it helps you keep track of your units. And your units can be anything that describes the number, anything attached to the number. So 500 labels, 500 what? 500 labels. Units aren't just things like milliliters and feet and miles and things like that. They can be anything that you're, any descriptor that relates to the number. So 500 labels, just put it in here. And then for our next step, we don't even need to really go back to the question. What we're going to look at here is labels. What else do we have that involves labels? Right here. So if you put labels on the top here, that is what goes on the bottom in the next part of the grid. 3 labels, and what is 3 labels equal to? 1 box. And what we can do now, just like in algebra, we can cancel our units of labels. Just like if you had a number on the top and the bottom of a fraction, or if you had, say, like x on top and x on the bottom, it cancels. and units cancel exactly the same way. So if we were to just do the math now, the units that we'd be left with is box, but we don't want units of box, we want units of days. So then going through the same process, if we have box here, we want to get rid of box. So we're going to put 25 boxes in the bottom so that boxes cancel. And then whatever that's equal to, 1 day, we put that here. We cancel our boxes. It doesn't matter that it's box here and boxes here. It's like having foot here and feet somewhere else. It still cancels. And then what we do is we multiply everything on top, and that's just 500 times 1 times 1. So it's just going to be 500. Whoa. Hold on. Okay. Back here. It's going to be 500 divided by whatever's on the bottom, which is 3 times 25, which is 75. And we'll do that in the calculator. 500 divided by 75. And we'll get 6.666667. And then we'll write in whatever word we have left, which is days, and that matches what we wanted to find, and it matches the answers here. And now the only thing we have left to do is to round to the nearest whole. So nearest, if we have a number more than 5, which we do, we have 0.6, so it rounds up to 7 days, and our answer is A, 7 days. So quick review, we're going to write whatever numbers we find and what they're equal to. Whatever number we have as a standalone number is just going to be our first number to put in there, and then we put in everything that we said was equal to each other so that the units that we don't want will cancel, and we're left with just the units we want, in this case days.